Gentlemen, welcome back to the shop. Tonight's little tour review. I've got this heat gun. I've got a project that I need to strip old vinyl tiles off of a floor, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get it right. So I got the cheapest, let's call it most cost-effective heat gun available. It's a McAfee brand. It's made in China. I think this is about pretty much the same as the Harbor Freight in the States. What do they call it? Princess Auto in Canada. Stayed at 2,000 watts. Let's get into it and see what we see on it. First of all, it's a 230 volt 2000 watt. That's what they're calling it. It's got 3 settings. I'm questioning the 50 degrees centigrade already, but let's see what we can see. Now, opening up the box, she's got a good stank to her. Definitely offshore. Definitely. Well, we didn't have to wonder about that. Where does it say? It doesn't say on the box, but I bet you. Well, Chinese export. Double insulated. Please read the manual. It's got a manual. And then dispose of. Double insulated, dispose of in a environmentally friendly manner, that's what they call it. Comes without the normal blow molded cases, which I like because that just takes up space in the shop. I think you know what this smells like? It smells like new foam rubber flops. You know these cheap dollar store foam rubber shoes? It smells like that. Really, she's got a stank to her. European 2-point plug. I hate this stuff. Just as well cut it off and put a 3-point plug on there. You don't need the 3-point plug because it's double insulated. You do not need the earth peg on it. The cable's actually fairly soft. It says Yongguang Cable Company Limited, Hanzhou Yongguang. It says rated 300 to 500 volts. They don't tell you the amps. That's funny enough. They give you the rating 300 or 500 volts, but they don't give you amperage rating on it or watt rating on it or whatever you want to call it. It is a 2-core 1 square millimeter. Fairly soft. I wouldn't say it's the softest cable, but I've had worse on this budget end tool, so not too bad. Length of the cable is approximately, call it 2 meters. Yeah, 2 meters, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Like I say, the plug we can somewhere chuck away. It's got a, I won't say rubber, plastic / rubber strain relief on there. Not the best, but I don't think you're gonna reef on this thing. So far so good. If you want to see this is the nameplate. Like I said, double insulated, Chinese export. There we go, made in China. Specifically tagged for Adendorff Machinery mart in South Africa. So they've got a deal with a manufacturer in China that they brand it as such. I think if you look it up, you'll get somewhere you'll get something that looks very similar. So they've got this cast up and spun up specifically for Adendorff Machinery mart, and they brand it as the McAfee brand, so not too bad. From the outside, I mean, obviously you get what you pay for. I paid the equivalent of probably about $20, maybe around about 20 bucks for it. So initially you get what you pay for. I need this for a specific job. It's not that I'm using it very often. I've never had, let's call it this way, I've never had the urge to buy one. I never needed one for a job specifically before now. So I think I might use it in future. I might use it more. It's probably one of those tools, when you have it, you'll use it. If you don't have it, you don't really need it. You don't really care for it. It hasn't got any nozzles with it. Like I say, it's the cheapest one. They've got a one that's double the price. That's obviously now fancier and better and whatever. but it hasn't got any of the nozzles with it, which is a bit of a bummer. I would have chucked in, I mean, come on guys, the Chinese can manufacture this thing, this nozzles for peanuts to the dollar. So you could just as well put in 2 or 3 different nozzles for it, but nonetheless it comes without any of it. Now, got the stainless steel, well, I don't know if it's stainless or if it's nickel plated. Let's see if we can see. Nickel plated, there's some copper. Don't know if you will be able. Come on, focus. Don't know if you can see there's some copper sticking out there. So it's definitely nickel plated steel, it's not a stainless steel item. Let's get this one off and get you guys back into focus there. Right, so let's take it apart and see what we can see. Ha! Just get all the screws out. Alright, so if we look, firstly if we look at the encasement, it says here polypropylene PP GF30, so it's glass fiber reinforced, 30% glass fiber in there. You can also see that it's polypropylene. Let's see if I can get you in there. If there's a number 5 in that little square, that's the recycling mark. So if you want to recycle it, number 5 is polypropylene. The molding is not that bad. Honestly, I think it looks like fairly new molds. You can see the ejection pins still looking good. Nowhere did they roughen it up to get it to the second stage. So what they'll do is they will cast the first piece, put it in another mold, and then they will overmold the rubber on this side. I don't know what the rubber this is. Maybe leave it in the comments if you know type of rubber. It's only got 2 pins where it's connected. The rest, so I think this might be coming off sooner than later. But nonetheless, it doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. Fairly hard molding. Really, I can't see much wrong with it. Got the injection pin over there, has been cut off. Ejection pins, can't see where they came out. And like I said, nowhere can I see where they've roughened it up. So it should be a fairly new mold. Let's get you guys in closer and see what we can see on this side. Okay, so first of all, the strain relief, little plastic strain relief. Not the greatest, but I've seen worse. And then the actual cable is screwed in with a little saddle on this side, which is, I think, quite good. Normally they're not that positively affixed. From there on we go through a little terminal connector into a cap and onto the brain box of this thing. Now the brain box of this thing doesn't look like it's very intelligent. The switch is a Defont, so it's a stock standard Defont 6.5 amp 250 volt AC switch, 3 positions, so you will have a off and 1, 2 and a 3. Then that goes through this little PC board. PC board, very nice soldered, doesn't look too bad. No, let's see if we can take it out of here. Switch, I don't know if you guys can see in there, the contacts on the switch are fairly hard, so from there on, let's see what we can see here. Okay, so the 3 positions go to, we'll get to that in a minute. There's the brain box. just a couple of diodes. So AC, then if you see the 4 diodes there, this will be a DC motor then. DC motor. And okay, so you can actually see the contacts inside the little switch there. Not too bad. It's got a 1, 2 and a 3, and then obviously the off that just goes nowhere. From there on it goes to the motor. The motor is a brushed DC motor, small little thing. Let's see if we can get into there. Okay, so there's the motor. I don't think I'm going to get it out there, but I wonder if you guys are going to be able to see on there. It says RS365S what. Should be a standard, stock standard off the shelf motor. It's a 24 volt DC motor. As you can see, they didn't even use a bridge rectifier. They just put in 4 diodes to create their own little bridge rectifier. Soldering's not that bad. And then there's looks like either coils or wire wound resistors. Looks like a little coil just over there. Nothing fancy, nothing funny. The impellers are one-way impeller, so this DC motor can only spin, well, it should only spin one way. The DC motor should be able to, if you turn around the polarity, it should be able to run the other way. But as you can see on the vanes on this thing, it's a one-way impeller, so it'll only work in the one direction. With a little I want to say volute casing because I'm used to pumps, but the little casing, and then it just puts the flow through there. Then on the inside, I don't know if we're going to get that open. It looks like there are actually 3 different elements. Can you guys see in there? First one is a little funky little thin one, and then deeper inside there's some bigger wires. So it's not that they are actually, see, this is the interesting stuff. They have got no way of switching, well, changing the current flowing to the heating elements. So they just put in 3 different heating elements and just gun it, and then the switch just changes between the 3. As simple as that. Because this is the interesting stuff that we learn on the internet. Okay. I don't think I'm going to take off. The only thing we're going to get out of here is maybe we should try. Let's try and get into the elements. Okay, so there we go. Little steel, nickel plated steel casing. Then we have some heat insulation, just to prevent everything from melting, because this thing will get as hot as a $2 pistol. I'm going to slowly and very carefully pull out the elements. So there you can actually see, let's get into frame here. There you can see the 3 different elements. You've got the one with this fine wire, thicker wire, and then the big one at the end. So this will probably be the hottest setting and the coldest setting, and then number 2 in there. Not gonna fight on it a lot. Oh dear, something already broke off here. Something got hot. You can see there. The insulation that they wound it around didn't hold up. Burnt off. I think we'll be okay. Just gonna stick it back together. There we and there you have it. That's how easy it is. So they have got no way of varying the current into the elements. So they're just putting 3 different elements. Over there in just in there you can see a little overheat protection switch. If it gets too hot, it'll just bend open and check and start cooling off. Let's see if we can get this thing back together. Let's see if I can get it on the right place. Looks like it. This is a PA6 glass fiber reinforced 30%, so it's a nylon spacer. 30% glass fiber reinforced, and that fits onto there. I think now I've got everything in there. Hope so. And then this one is a, let's see if I can find out what that is. Also PA6. Come on, focus. PA6 glass fiber reinforced nylon. Not sure why they would do that differently. Maybe the I know the HDPE has got a fairly low melting point. I can't remember the melting point of the nylon. Let's look it up. Right, so I know that HDPE melts at around about 100 and something. The glass fiber reinforced nylon, well, the PA6 actually only melts at 220 degrees Celsius. I can't, you guys in the States must figure out how many, whatever you guys use there. So it might be because of that. Now I must see where we're going to with this. That fits on something like that. This one goes over there. And we can put this together. The back end is a ABS plastic. One thing I forgot to mention, it doesn't show on this side of the mold, it showed in this one. This is actually brand new molds. The little thingy there shows that it's a 21 mold, so it is brand spanking new. On this side you can see a bit of mill marks and so on, but not bad, not bad. This side is actually, this mold is actually, will actually split in two again. I just think they fuse them together to get this little screen in there, but I'm not going to strip that out. This one, alright, so this is ABS, and this front one is nylon PA6, also 30% glass fiber reinforced, and looks like it's a 21 mold as well. So fairly new setup here. Can't really complain about that. But let's get this thing back together and try and, well, let's get it back together and see if it'll run. I like the fact that they use 3 different elements. I wondered how they put that thing together. Quite clever, quite clever. All of the cables are out of the way. I would have liked to see more connection points. There's the injection pin. And the mold's still so new. Yeah, they had to really press on it to get it out. There's the one, and I think there's the other one. But still not bad, not bad. The clamshell fits together quite nice. But let's chuck it together now that we've seen what's inside. Let's put it together and see if she'll run. Alright gentlemen, now that we've got it back together, let's test it out now. I haven't got a thermometer that I can keep in front of it. I've only got this non-contact thermometer, but we'll make a plan. What I've got here is a piece of aluminium, whatever you call it, tubing, so we can see. I'm going to try and see how hard I can get this. It is there's going to be a lot of losses in between, definitely. It's not going to get close to whatever this thing is actually putting out or whatever, but let's see what we can get to. Now interesting one, if we can just get back to the box here. The settings is, number 1 is 50 degrees at 500 liters per minute flow rate. Apparently that's what they rated at. Then the second one is 450 degrees at 250 liters per minute. So it should be half the flow, and then back 500 at 600 again. So I'm not sure what made them decide on that. Maybe if you know, let me know in the comment down below, and it would be interesting. It would be interesting. But let's get gunning on it. First of all, I am going to try setting number 1. Alright, there it's running. It's actually, I think it's very close. Actually, I think it's very close to 50 degrees because it's not even burning my hand as I'm holding it quite close. Alright, so as you saw there, it got close to 40 degrees. Let's check number 2, which is said to be 450 degrees. Now 450 degrees is quite a lot. I don't think we're going to get the aluminum close to that, but let's see what we can get out of it. There you can hear the motor actually spinning slower. Now first, it's definitely much hotter than the previous setting. And it's already at 80 degrees, so okay, so we can easily get it to 120. Let's check the third setting. Yeah, there's definitely stuff happening here. Right, so without much effort, 166 degrees. This thing really heats up quite a lot on the high setting. I'm impressed. So, but I didn't run it long, so I think you definitely be able to get it up to 200 degrees if you do not have a massive steel heatsink at the bottom and all of that. Right, gentlemen, first impressions, I think it's worth the money. For the price that you pay, definitely well built, definitely doing the job it's supposed to do. I don't know how long it'll last and so on. I'll use it and maybe do a follow-up video in a year or so and see what we can get out of her. But first impressions, it's definitely worth the money. With that, I'm going to call it. If you've made it thus far, thank you very much. As always, please rate, comment, subscribe, and as always, stay safe.